Hello everyone. You may already know me as Positional Play on Twitter. I wanted to try something new and decided to start a YouTube channel. This is my first video on this platform, so if there are any imperfections in the editing of video or with the voice quality, my apologies in advance. Hopefully I will get better in time. In my first video I want to talk about the upcoming FA Cup final between Manchester City and Manchester United. I'll make some predictions on possible plans in coaches' minds and possible strengths and weaknesses for both sides. I want to specifically focus on City's shape in possession and what United can do against it. So let's start with City's 3-2-2-3 that they enjoy using it in possession lately. Generally, we observe attacking lines in three different shapes. A straight line where all 4 or 5 players of last line stand on the same line, which is usually the offside line set by the opponent last pressure line. A V-shaped line, which can be provided by the use of a false line, where false line drops deep and delays his movement. And a W-shaped line, which can be provided with the use of a more traditional striker, playing as the tip of the line. In recent years, we saw Guardiola used all these shapes with more all-around strikers like Kun Agüero, or with a false line like the use of Phil Foden or Gabriel Jesus last year. However, City suffered a bit when it came to finishing the games and scoring goals at the critical moments last year. Therefore, they transferred Erling Haaland, as you all know, a young, physical striker with an incredible appetite to score goals and win games competitions. Haaland is a very good example of an evolved bull forward, which was an invaluable part of counter-attacking direct teams of the past, and perfect to play the tip in attacking line. The reason why I said evolved is that stereotypically this type of forwards were considered to be a bit off, having concentration problems, teased a bit when it comes to decision making. But Haaland is certainly excellent with his movement and concentration all the time. However, using him solely as the tip brought different problems when Manchester City wanted to control the games. The lack of a player in the chains brought difficulties for City to create numerical advantages, especially at the wider areas. Previously, the strikers had the freedom to move either the ball side or far side by understanding where the advantage is. However, for Haaland, the most efficient way to use him is to have him as far as possible from the ball until the ball is in the opponent box, because he is usually marked by at least one player and he constantly attracts his markers to create space for his teammates, and while also creating numerical superiority at the far side for switch plays. However, this brought problems for the ball circulation at the ball side. That's why Guardiola brought up 3-2-2-3 or WM, historically also one of the most successful formations to use bull forwards. However, compared to direct attacking that is traditionally preferred with WM formation, he managed to use this structure for his ideal fluid short passing combination game. Compared to his Holy 4-3-3, now with Haaland staying at the far side, he could still accumulate many players on the ball side without distorting his structure significantly. By using 2 center backs and 2 holding midfielders at the ball side, he could still move the opponent to one side so that City could create advantageous situations through switch plays at the far side. In addition, since the structure was not distorted, City could still hold a strong press defense against their opponents with the 3-2 shape. Natural advantages of WM formation and using a bull forward made direct balls as an option for against high pressing teams as well. They have been incredible out of possession too, but I want to keep that part a little more for my next video, at which I plan to preview the Champions League final. With the help of this new structure in possession, City won 20 games since February, only had 5 draws and 1 loss, which was last week with their sort of second win against Brentford. In this 26 games period, they scored 70 goals, significantly overperformed their expected goals, which was 50 in this period, and they only conceded 15 goals in these 26 games. The significant overperformance of XG is also showing how Haaland affected the team and made them more decisive and clinical at big games. So how can United attempt to stop this trend? Let's think about Ten Hag's usual preferences to predict his strategy out of possession. we have seen that he wants to have his +1 at the backline. He wants to close the inner channels. Regarding that, Brighton games he played lately were good examples. Against the Zerbi's powerful Brighton, who used 4-2-4 at deep build-up, Ten Hag used a very smart strategy. He kept his +1 with Lindelof at the backline. With Casemiro joining them, he still man-marked the remaining 4 attackers. Since he was already one player less up front and Brighton are very good at playing from the back with including their goalkeeper as an extra holding midfielder, unless a significant dynamic advantage occurs, he made his team mostly starting the press between the penalty area of the opponent and kickoff spot. So Brighton disconnected from their goalkeeper and the numerical advantage they have became less severe. Secondly, he closed inner channels tightly and pushed the opponent to wider areas. This made the life difficult for Brighton at some periods to progress the ball to attacking third. And finally, when Brighton changed their shape after pushing United to low block to be able to open the inner channels, United didn't struggle to adapt into the new shape and just followed the same principles. When Brighton used 2-3-4-1, United simply continued man-marking central players and kept their +1 at the backline. And once the opponent made a mistake, they tried punishing them with counterattacks. Although Brighton's and City's structures are different, their intentions are quite similar. I believe United will follow the same principles against City, and that will make United to have a 4-2-3-1 shape with a narrow tip. In deep build-up, City used their goalkeeper as an extra centre-back. In order not to suffer more from the numerical disadvantage at high block, United will again allow the City to disconnect from their goalkeeper. Then it will be 3-2 against United's 3-1. Pushing opponent wide to set traps close to the touchline, preferably on wingers who will receive the ball from wide centre-backs with their face towards their own goal, will mean dynamic disadvantage for City. So that will be a good place for United to set their traps. 2 defensive midfielders will be on City's attacking midfielders, fullbacks on wingers, and centre-backs will switch over the responsibility of marking Haaland and sweeping the backline. This is actually something very similar to what Tuchel used against City, and although losing the leg eventually, Bayern significantly disturbed City and reduced the number of preferable situations for City when they had possession. The main reasons Bayern lost the quarter-final round were individual mistakes and City's strong press in the second half of the first game. I believe United will not want possession so much, will not play from the back a lot, so will not allow City to press high anyways. However, this may result in situations where City push United to low block. And in these situations, De Bruyne's dynamism will be the deciding factor for City, as he can determine where the numerical advantage can occur. City's plan with De Bruyne roaming between 2 flanks is currently a bit difficult problem to be resolved by their opponents. Although his marker follows him all the way from left to right, right to left, United will take the risk of City's switch plays, and wide centre-backs underlap and overlapping runs will be a problem. If the marker prefers to stay at his zone, then City creates numerical advantage or at least parity with De Bruyne at the opposite flank. So we will see if City will be able to create these preferable situations for them, or United will be able to lock them. With their amazing form in the last few months, City is the natural favourite of the final. However, Ten Hag is a very innovative head coach. I am expecting his strategy, especially at the out of possession phase, will make the life difficult for City and will give United an edge. If you liked the video, please leave a like and feel free to subscribe my page, where you will be able to see my tactical previews and reviews of important games in Europe. Thank you for watching. Until next time.